All right, here we are, Celtics live post-game, and I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't tired as all hell jumping on here late at night. But hey, if you guys are tuning in, you're probably tired as well. Busy day on the YouTube front. But hey, we stayed up late. We watched the Celtics. I'm way past my bedtime. We watched the Celtics catch an L tonight, which definitely sucks because I guess just overall, this was one of the games, and I had said it on the Celtics Power Hour, which we record on Tuesdays, me and KJ. I said that these two games against the Lakers and then against the Clippers are two really important games, because after that you have the Suns. But I really wanted to get this win, not only because I'm past my bedtime and I didn't want to stay up and watch a loss, but here we are. Talking about a loss here, the Celtics. If you missed the game or if you're just tuning in, Celtics lost 117 to 102. So 15-point loss, and we'll get into the box score. We'll talk about it all. Guys, if you are new, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like the video. That being said, I feel like we aren't going to have too many new people tonight. I feel like we got the loyal ones, the OGs tuning into the stream. But yeah, we got an early morning as well, getting up, around 4:30. So that is scary to think about. So I don't know how long we'll stay on here live, but without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's get the stream going. We have the box score to get into here. And so again, Celtics take the L 117 to 102. Jayson Tatum started off so hot, and he played all right. 59% from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, so 71%. Jayson Tatum looked good. Jayson Tatum looked like what you needed him to do against, in a big game, I should say. I was going to say against a good team, which Lakers are, but they have been lacking as of late, or I guess this whole season overall. Jayson Tatum, 34 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a block. The turnovers I don't love to see, but I will say Jayson Tatum kind of did his scoring job. But then if you look at this box score, guys, 7 from Horford, Rob with 13. They were all dunked. Smart with 6. Schroeder with 10, Josh Richardson with 11, and then after that, you know what I mean? Like nothing. Nesmith had 9 late, obviously. Pritchard, same thing there. This team needed Jalen tonight. They needed some sort of another go-to offensive player, because they didn't have it. They didn't have it tonight, and then they couldn't really compete with, if we were to look at the Lakers side of things, they couldn't compete with 30 from LeBron, 17 from AD, and 16 boards, by the way. And then Russell Westbrook with a double-double of his own as well, 24 points. They just couldn't compete with that squad tonight. And obviously they have Jalen's injury, but I don't know. Is this team the type of team that's not going to jump up and sort of rise to the occasion? I don't know. We'll get into it tonight, guys. Again, I don't know how long we're going to be live, because it's late and we're getting up in now less than 4.5 hours, which kind of stinks. It's a daunting little reminder there as I look at the clock. But let's get into the chat here. The chat's over here because I got it plugged in. My iPad was about to die, so clearly I was super prepared for this late night stream. But we got this here. So all right, let's get into some chat. Let me get set up here. Gear saying, wish we could have seen more Nesmith. Yeah, I mean, Nesmith looked pretty good, and he looked, what was it, the Portland game? Nesmith looked pretty good. I'm ready to start giving these guys some minutes. If the Celtics are going to be an inconsistent team, and I know they've been playing better as of late, don't get me wrong. The Celtics team has been playing better. They've kind of seemingly turned a round corner. I wouldn't say a sharp corner, but they've turned the corner a little bit, right? But still, if it's going to be, I guess if they're going to have a sort of team that's, up in the air of, what type of team are we going to be? Are they going to be good? Are they going to contend? Are they going to be bad? Whatever, start playing the young guys. Give them a chance. And I just turned the date there, too, because I realized as I set this up, it was in the AM here, but it's really yesterday's game. Dev B saying, Smart is regular. Anybody doing what he's doing as much as clock as he gets. Yeah, I mean, Smart's had some up and down games this year, but to me, Smart, really needs to get back to what he was doing. And I would say, I don't know, a couple weeks ago? Is that fair? Or maybe even a week ago, when Marcus Smart was strictly being a point guard, dishing the rock, not shooting that much. Tonight, he looked like he did too much. Now, not necessarily from the jump shot side of things. Lefty jumper there, by the way. I'm a righty, but that jump shot follow through on the left looks good. Marcus Smart didn't take the 3-ball tonight, but there's a couple plays in a row where he's driving into Anthony Davis, and I'm like, buddy, not even superstars have success driving into Anthony Davis. You think that you guys are going to do that? Or it's just frustrating to me to see a guy like Smart think that, he's going to do it, or Schroeder goes and does it. At least Josh Richardson was pulling up from the free throw line before he got there. the offense was frustrating tonight for sure. Lan saying good morning. Yeah, that's true. There you go. This is perfect for Lan over there. Gabe says, can we ever trust the Celtics? Every time we see them turning it around, they never fail to disappoint. And that's the thing. Like, is this going to be the identity of the team? It sucks if it is, but is it? Like, is this Celtics team going to be a team that looks like they're turning the corner and then have a big game? And again, maybe people don't think this was a big game, but I do think that this was a big game. If they can win 2 of these games in a row, maybe lose to the Suns, and all of a sudden they're looking at a very good sort of tough part of the schedule. This previous, I don't know what we'd call it, these previous 8 games or so have been so tough. And definitely this road trip. So get this win. The Lakers aren't this like unbeatable team. LeBron, AD, Westbrook, Carmelo. It sounds like they are, but they haven't been playing well. They haven't been doing anything this year. You actually have been the better team as of late. And then you go out and get smoked. And they were competing with them, but that third quarter came around and it was like, third quarters, I forgot. We're the Celtics. We don't play those things. And they just kind of lost the game there. And then I hate to say this because this is like the negative fan in me. The fact that they only lost by 15, that took them to go on a huge run at the end of the game, right? Huge run at the end of the game to make it like look like it was a 10-point game with a minute and a half left. This game actually could have been uglier. The Celtics definitely let us down tonight. For sure, because just the mere fact that, you know, these games were so important. Maybe I'm overhyping them. The fact that they kind of lost interest in the game, that's what drives me nuts. Lance saying, just woke up and saw the last 3 minutes, still had hope. Yeah, it looked a little bit better then. Levi said, this team's frustrating to watch, so mad right now. We need Brown back. He definitely would help. Dev saying our offense sucks, which is 100% true. Like, without Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it definitely sucks. And even with those 2 guys, we have to see some sort of change or some sort of different game plan, because even with those 2 guys, we've had some trouble there. Let's see. Classic saying, keep the videos coming. Yeah, today we had our NBA pick videos come out. We had the Celtics Power Hour that I do with KJ. We had the Celtics pregame show, and now we got the Celtics postgame show, and I recorded my NBA picks videos. You know, half now, and I will do half after this stream as well. That will come out tomorrow. So the grind was real today, guys. The grind was real today, but I do love all the new subscribers and everything like that. And I know our roots are here with the Celtics, but I do love that, you know, what we've done with the NBA picks and everything like that. And I see Calling Our Shot in here. Calling Our Shot. It says the grind doesn't stop. The GOAT. Calling Our Shot. Austin at Calling Our Shot is the real GOAT. If you guys don't know who that is, definitely go check that out. Just search Calling Our Shot, and you guys will find him. Go subscribe to them. Here we go. Let's keep going here. Lala says your lean towards the Lakers was good. Yeah, I mean, I can't bet against the Celtics, but I told you guys, I think this game meant a little bit more to the Lakers in terms of winning or losing, but it still should have meant a lot to the Celtics, which drives me nuts, the fact that they got seemingly bored with the game. And I know they didn't actually get bored with the game, but the fact that all of a sudden it's like, oh, third quarter comes around, they're like, let's miss shots. I think they went on like a 2 or an 0-11 run at one point where the Lakers are just smoking them. Russell Westbrook in particular. I don't like that. Ubi says it's time to give up and move on from PP, Romeo, and Nesmith to get some consistent vets on this team. I'm not against that. Like, it sucks because you could make the argument, right, and this goes against it, that, oh, if they're going to be that bad of a team this year, or they're going to be inconsistent this year, why don't we start playing those guys? Why don't we start doing that? Not necessarily throw away the season. We know these guys can ball at some degree. Why don't we start playing them a little bit more, see what they got, you know, everything like that. But at the same time, it's like, do you start to miss your window of Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown? Like, do you? How many times is Jayson Tatum going to want to play, or how many years is he going to want to play for this team if they're just not there? Like, this has been, I can only imagine, and he's definitely responsible for a lot of the frustration, right? But if you think about how much time and effort this team has invested and money into Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown and building around them, if one of those guys gets disgruntled or leaves, it's like, oh, well, now what do we do? So maybe you do have to say, let's go get some vets because we need help now. We don't have time to just see if Nesmith develops, see if Langford develops, see if PP develops. Moon saying LeBron's hairline magically grew back. Did you guys ever see that like picture? I think it was when he was recording Space Jam, or a video of him getting like spray paint on his head. Yikes. I mean, I might be losing it someday, and I think I'm already starting to lose. Like, I could pull hair out of my head easy right now, but I'll never use spray paint there. Also, I have blonde hair. Like, that'd be a tough spray paint look. All right, we got to keep flying through these comments here. Sports Guide for Service saying the Celtics aren't going nowhere. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that. Like this team looks like the minute the moment's big, they might compete, but not come out on top. Dev saying, what do you think about having JB play like Rip Hamilton, off-ball motion, mid-range game? I'd love that. You tell me Jaylen Brown's going to play like Rip Hamilton, I'm in on that. Because I will say, about him, like was way more athletic and way better of a slasher than people give him credit for. So I'm in on that, but I do like that emphasis on the mid-range. And the fact that, was it last year they told him to stop shooting mid-ranges when he was like leading the league in mid-range shooting percentage? Like that was messed up. But yeah, I like that idea because that kind of doesn't let him just be stagnant and sit around there. Lets him get in the ball, get in the groove, I guess, take 2 dribbles, pull up, that type of thing. I don't mind that at all. I think the mid-range is a lost art nowadays. Guys, we are here late night. If you do want to support the show, make sure to drop a super chat. We read your chat right away as well, but drop a super chat if you guys do want to support the show here. Rose is saying Celtics offense sucks. I said that earlier too. I agree. Like this, and I will say Jayson Tatum can drop 34 points at any given moment. Jaylen can go for 30, sure. All these guys can play well. Marcus Smart could drop 20 if he wants, some nights. Dennis Schroeder, same thing. The way these guys play offense doesn't work. It doesn't. It hasn't been working. So, yeah, I can't really disagree with the idea of, oh my God, like this offense is clicking. No, like I can't disagree with the idea that this offense sucks because so far this year, this offense has sucked to me. And again, I'm not talking about stats. I'm not talking about metrics. I'm talking about watching this offense. You never look like you're guaranteed a bucket or even, let me make it even simpler. You're never guaranteed a good look. You should be able to have somewhat of an offense or something that's like, at least we'll get a good look. Maybe we'll miss the 3. Maybe we'll miss the layup, everything like that. But damn. James saying, you are the man. I will take that. Thank you very much. Sports guy saying, you guys think the Celtics could be a top 4 East and make a run or no? I do think they can. I think they make a run, but it's going to take them, needing to play more consistent basketball. Like it sounds super negative, right? I'm crabby. I'm here late at night doing the stream. Like obviously I'm negative about this team, but I do think that this team has what it takes to be a 4 seed. Like I'm not talking championship or anything like that. I'm saying get to the top half of your conference, just barely. Yeah, like I definitely think that they can do that. Will they? As I see games like this where, and everyone, Robert Williams, Marcus Smart, I think publicly said, oh, we're about to go on a run. We're bonding on this road trip. Bonding what? Like bonding how to lose? So if this team can kind of put it together and go on the run they're talking about, yeah, I mean, I haven't lost faith. I'm always going to ride with this team, 100%. But got to voice the frustrations here. So I do think, sports guy, I think they do have a strong chance of being a top 4 seed, but they got to step it up a little bit. Dev's loving the 0-4 Pistons offense. Got to run that. Lance saying, how was the game? Nah. No, it wasn't a great game. They looked like it was going to be a good game for 28 minutes, and then poof. Let's see. And sports guy saying, do you think, what seed do we make the playoffs? I think they make the playoffs in a 6 seed this year, if I had a gun to my head. High side of this is they make the playoffs as a 4 seed, I think. That's like the high, and this could be me. Grain of salt. It could be me just being a little bit negative after this game. But, I do think Milwaukee and Brooklyn take up that 1 and 2 spot. So then it's like, oh, now you really got to compete to even achieve more than the 4 seed. The Bulls look good. So I'll say this. I think the 3 seed's obviously the ceiling this year. I don't think they overtake the Bucks or overtake the Nets. So 3 seed high. I do think the low. I think that this team's so sort of back and forth and so inconsistent that they will win a decent amount of games because they'll go on these runs where they, rattle off 5 in a row or 4 out of the last 5, that type of thing. So I say the floor for them is 6 seed. That's a little bit high. Maybe I got a high floor there, but ceiling 3 seed. And that could just be me, blowing smoke up there, what's. Ubi saying Romeo had an and one and had 0 emotion. That guy just looks like he doesn't care about basketball. He's probably high all the time. Isn't he like the resident high guy on the Celts? Ubi says Tatum and Marcus Smart both showed heart throughout the game, which I thought was a plus. Yeah, that is true. When I said this team lost interest, I will say Tatum looked like he never lost interest. Marcus Smart, I feel like that's at least one thing you can at least visually count on from him. But Tatum, he didn't look disinterested, which is good to see. Gear says if they aren't going to play these guys like Neesmith and Romeo, that just trade them. Yeah, seriously, like what are they doing there? They're lottery picks for you. If you aren't going to play them whatsoever, what are you doing, right? So yeah, I 100%, I'm in that boat. Like I think, and it's sad because I would love to see if those guys can do it, if they can keep getting better and better and improve. But like, if you aren't going to play young guys, why do you have young guys on your team, right? Like, because at some point they're just not gonna be young anymore. And it's like, oh, well, now what do we do? Steven saying Smart was not good tonight. Yeah, I mean, Smart had stretches where he wasn't good. Majority of the game, he was not good. I give you that. And I think overall, I would agree with your statement. I do think that Marcus Smart had a couple nice plays, a couple nice passes. But overall, like, you know, I voiced my opinion on that earlier. I can't believe he thought that it was a good idea to keep driving into AD and driving into LeBron. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you aren't that guy. You're not that guy, pal. Let's see. Pedrito said that Fournier pick messed up my whole parlay. Steven says, I just don't understand why anyone would be frustrated or with JB or JT. It's always about what they don't do. They never have enough talent around them. Yeah, I mean, no, that's fair. And you could say this is probably a perfect example, right? This is probably a perfect example where Tatum did do his job tonight. You could say he took some ill-advised shots or whatnot, but almost 60% from the field and 70% from three. Tatum did his job tonight. So people might be like, oh, he's supposed to be the leader and everything like that. And like all of a sudden, you know, oh, you know, this loss is on him. I don't think so. I mean, no one else really pulled their weight in terms of scoring points. And the Lakers just absolutely got to the paint whenever they wanted. So no one pulled their defensive weight. Drew saying it's a bad game. It happens. Hopefully they bring it tomorrow. I think they need to bring it tomorrow because I will say that Suns game after, what is that, Friday, that Suns game's going to be real tough. So if you lose tomorrow, you now have a strong chance of dropping 3 in a row in a time where you really didn't want to drop 3 in a row. So I do hope that they bring it tomorrow. A nice strong win there at least gets you feeling good going into Friday's game, and maybe you can beat this Suns team who seems like they're even, you know, a strong, really good team without Booker. But like it's getting to, you know, it's if you lose 3 in a row here, this mentality of this team and this morale is going to be low because I do think that this game tonight was definitely winnable. Even without Jaylen, like I think this is a winnable game tonight. Ubi says, all right, the real discussion is when does Sabonis get announced as a Celtic? I'd take that. I don't think that I would trade Jaylen for Sabonis, but man, Sabonis is such an underrated superstar. Sports saying, if we stick to 500 or under, blow this team up. Yeah, what do we mean by blow it up? Like Tatum and Brown gone, one of them gone. What is that? What are we thinking in terms of blow it up in that sense? Steven saying a lot of teams run ISO and get good looks and good offense. Celtics fans scream team ball and mediocre ass team will not get you far. Bench players can win a game, but stars win finals. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with that, Steven. Like I don't necessarily say the ISO sucks. This offense sucks. Like the ISO that they're doing aren't good ISOs then. Like I'd rather Tatum ISO, which he's doing a little bit more of, ISO and try and get to the paint and either fade away or go to the rim than the ISO step back 3. Same thing for a Marcus Smart, or when Dennis Schroeder, you know, ISOs the entire shot clock down, or Jaylen Brown takes a pull-up 3. Like I don't think ISO is as much of a problem this year as it was last year. But there is a difference. It's not just ISO, you know, blanket statement, right? There's a lot of different types of ISO, and if you're going to get good looks off of ISO, like look at what Russell Westbrook was doing tonight. Russell Westbrook was getting good looks off of isolation plays. Some of them, you know, he's throwing up some bricks there, I guess, some of the threes, but like you can ISO and get a smart shot. It's a matter of using that ISO to create a smart shot, which I don't know if the Celtics necessarily do right now. Let's see. Johnson saying Brown's a diva. Trade for Sabonis and Brogdon. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Jaylen. I won't go as far as saying he's a diva, but, you know, I think we're starting to see Jaylen Brown just seemingly is consistently injured. And I hate to say that, but I don't know if we can disagree with that right now. Like, it seems like he's always injured, always on the injury report. And now they're saying, like, you know, it could be some time that he sits out because they want to get him to be 100% before he comes back, everything like that. Like, that's such a headache to me. You don't want one of those guys. I do want Jaylen, let me make that clear, but those are some of the worst sort of guys to have to worry about on your team because now you have a star in your back pocket, but it's like, oh crap, like I just sewed my back pocket shut. Oh, now it's open. It's Velcro. It's sticky. Like you don't know when you could pull your star out of your back pocket because he could always be injured or always be a no-show. So it's a little worrisome. Hamstring injuries are nothing to look down onto. Like hamstring injuries are so re-injurable. So in a sense, I guess that they're trying to take it easy, but is he good to go or not? You know what I mean? Like, don't just list him as questionable and then be like, oh, well, let's see if he could play. Like, is he good to go, or does he need more time? And just let him sit then. I don't need you to, like, tickle us about, oh, is he going to play? Is he questionable? Is he going to play? Is he going to play? Is Jaylen Brown available to play, or is he not? How long is he going to not be for if it happens? I don't know about this going back and forth or trying to hide it. Like, one of the times he was on the injury report for recovering from injury. Yeah, bull. He just has the same injury. Like, it's just, don't string us along. Let's see. I lost my place in the chat here. We will skip ahead just to be a little bit more relevant here. Levi's saying, I will say about Tatum, he's starting to drive to the basket. And again, I just mentioned that too, so good timing. I agree. Like, Tatum's starting to want it more and look like, oh, you know what? I did bulk up this offseason. Let me use that bulk and let me get to the hoop and let me dunk on somebody or get to the rim and not just do. Remember that floater he did like last year and the year before where he like would release it below his shoulder? I don't see that floater much anymore. I think he actually did it once tonight, which is funny that I mentioned that. But Tatum is like getting to the hoop now way more than he was earlier in the year. Now he took 7 threes tonight, so I guess that means, what is that? Then he went to the hoop 20 or 15 times, you could say, went to the hoop. Some of them could have been pull-ups and whatnot, but I do like the ratio. And the only reason, the only thing I don't like is when Tatum's shooting 7, 8 threes is when he's not making them. Tatum shot 71% from the three-point line tonight. Take a million threes if you're going to hit 700,000 of them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with that if he's having an on night. But yeah, he is going to the hoop more as of late. Sports guy saying, I need to trade one of them if they're going to blow it up. Yeah, see, that's the thing. And I don't know if, like, I don't know if that's the best thing to do, because, again, you put so much time into the time, avoided and stood pat, whether it's an old GM or the new GM now. You stood pat at deadlines because you were banking on these two guys. A lot of missed opportunities because you were banking on these two guys. If you trade one of them, you better not be selling them on a low. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this year has been more evident. And again, I don't want to say what's going to happen at the end of the year, but this year has been more evident and more credence to the people that say that those two guys can't play well with one another, because we really haven't seen them play well with one another. Sports saying, you see Ime Udoka being a long-term coach or no? Not with this not on this path. Now, long-term, I think he finishes the season. I think we got asked this a couple streams ago. I think he finishes the season, definitely, like I do. But what I will say is that, as much as we talked this guy up, or, said that he's, he wants to go to war every game, or he's the coach of the future, I think Celtics fans, if we see this sort of track record and whatnot, like, one, it says that Brad Stevens probably wasn't even the issue. Whatever, maybe he wasn't an issue last year, but some of the issues that we saw last year are still present this year. And two, maybe Celtics fans need to come to grips with that. This guy might have just been a bridge coach. Like, he's the guy that we have in the interim, but before finding the next coach, because this year, like, he's doing just as well as anyone could do. Like people said and reported that the Celtics tuned out Brad Stevens last year. This team is just as successful or unsuccessful, just as mediocre as last year's team. Ubi saying JB hurt the same hamstring. I have a feeling it was never healthy. Steven saying, it's unbelievable that we have 2 stars and the fan base wants to trade. They aren't the problem. I see, I'm not fully there to trade one of them yet. I still think that you have put so much into these guys. Money, time, missed opportunities, of guys you could have traded for. I don't know if the move and the best move is to trade one of those guys. And if you do trade them, you better get an equal star in return, because you don't trade a horse for a couple ponies. Ubi says Rob was dominating AD in the first half, but in the second half he couldn't do anything. I mean, I would just chalk that up to, look at that, like, Anthony Davis, one of the best defenders in NBA history, I guess. Maybe he learned how to play him or something like that, or they made an adjustment. Those oops were too easy in the first half. They were just throwing them over the defender's head. You know what I mean? It's just like, boom, dunking over his head. So they clearly made an adjustment to kind of stop that and nip that one in the butt there. Sports guy saying, I don't think anyone would want Tatum or Brown. I don't know. I think that those guys, if they were on the trade block, you'd see teams lining up at the door. Johnson saying Brown's a diva. He sucks. Trade him for Rozier. I mean, I would have liked Rozier to stay here instead of Kemba. I'm on record saying that. Saying Udoka needs a suit. What a bum. Steven said, this is my issue. Bubble, we go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Last year was COVID and Brown missed the playoffs. Slow start this year. Now Brown and JT can't work based off what? I mean, I will say this is the most evident it's been since those guys have played together that they can't play with one another. I'm not saying that is like it's fact. I'm just saying we've seen more evidence of that this year than we have in years past. And it's starting to give credence to the people that have said that over time. Like, these guys have not gelled with one another. We see Tatum play better when Brown's not in there. Brown play better when Tatum's not in there. Like, I hate to say that, but that is becoming somewhat of a truth this season. Again, I said it's becoming more evident. I'm not saying it's the fact of the matter. It's exactly what's happening. I'm just saying it's more noticeable this year than it has been in years past, for sure. Johnson saying we need Brad back. Jeremy saying any chance you go to school in Boston? I do not. I did go to school in Massachusetts, but graduated 5 years ago now. Sports guy saying we need a guy like Mark Jackson. I wouldn't mind that. Mark Jackson was a very good building coach. People forget that he built the Warriors, and then Steve Kerr came in and took all the credit. I don't know if Mark Jackson's like a long-term coach, but he did something right with that Warriors team. Let's see. We got some beef in the chat between you guys. Johnson saying should have kept Kyrie. I don't know about that. That is so off. Let's see. Sports saying if you had an elite point guard, would be a lot better. I don't know. Maybe. Like, I would say that, you know, we've had a couple elite point guards and it didn't necessarily work out. You know what I mean? Like I do think that, you know, this team is lacking somewhat of a true point guard, but an elite point guard. And maybe that's what you mean. Maybe when you say elite point guard, you don't mean like an elite scoring point guard. So maybe I'm taking that the wrong way, Sports. But, you know, like, we've had elite point guards, and that didn't get us any further. So, yeah, I guess. Jeremy's saying Rocky start, but I think Tatum will be more consistent. I think he's starting to get more consistent. He's still been up and down just like this team, which blows. But at least, you know, we can say that maybe, you know, a game like tonight, he showed that he could play in a game like tonight. He didn't disappear, that type of thing, right? Jeremy, I went to school out in Western Mass there. That's as far as I'll go. Not for any personal reasons. I don't really care. But just that's as much I'll share, I guess. Johnson saying Mark Jackson sucks. Steven saying, okay, so based off 10 games, everyone's coming to this assumption. It just seems crazy considering last time both were healthy, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, no, again, like, I would like to see more of them playing with each other because that means one of them's not injured, one of them doesn't have COVID, everything like that. I just will say, Steven, like, factually speaking, that has been more noticeable this year. And I'm not saying that is even, like, going to be the truth if they continue to play with each other. All right, we'll take a few more comments here, and then we are going to jump off, guys. Stuck it out for a half an hour. Got to get some sleep. My eyes are like closing as we're doing this stream. Johnson saying we need Lillard. Brown's a diva. That's Johnson. You got that on copy and paste. Brown's a diva. Saying we got Kemba 3 years too late. Yeah, Kemba's knees were not ready or we're not alive still, which sucks. It does suck. Sports guy will end it here, says our best point guard was Isaiah Thomas. That probably was the best a point guard had played for us. Maybe you could say Kemba's all-star year, but then also Kyrie did play well at times too. But that the last point guard that I truly, you know, loved watching play on this team was Isaiah. Unfortunately, now we're talking about years ago, which is crazy to say. But anyways, guys. Short stream tonight. I do apologize. I do think we got into some good stuff here, but we'll be back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Hopefully we're talking about a win, so make sure you guys do tune in tomorrow. As you can see, we read all chat, especially I love these late night stream ones. I feel like, you know, we don't have a crazy crowd in the building, so I can get to all the chat. But we will catch you guys in tomorrow's stream. Hopefully we're talking about a win. That's all I could say. But good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. We'll catch you guys in the next stream. Peace out.